Hello and welcome back to the Leinster Listen. I'm your host Mick Linan and this is episode 67, the preview of Leinster vs Munster in the Women's Interprovincial Championship. The topics we'll discuss today are the Vodafone Women's Interprovincial Championship Round 1 predictions, details of our game, team lineups, score and player of the match prediction, and a discussion point on can the internationals flip the script. Alright folks, so the Vodafone Women's Interprovincial Championship has returned at long last, and we are officially in this podcast in Season 2. Season 2 has started now, and we have a load of exciting games obviously coming up with the URC, the European Champions Cup, and as I'm speaking of it now, the Women's Interprovincial Championship. Not to mention we'll obviously have the Six Nations and everything else that comes with that. But let's get into it with the round one of these games. So as you know, there's 2 games, 4 provinces. If you didn't know that, well, fair play, but that's what we have. And first up, we have Munster versus Leinster, and obviously, I'm going to say Leinster are going to win that one. And then we have Ulster versus Connacht, which will be a much tighter game, I think, and I do think Connacht will win that. Going into the details of our game, well, the kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. Saturday, 8th of August, as in tomorrow. The weather is mostly cloudy in the west, outbreaks of rain, bit of drizzle probably, but fairly dry, largely dry as you might call it, on Med Éireann. Highs of 19 to 24 degrees, and if it's anything like today, it'll actually be a cracker of a day with some very light to moderate south to southwest winds. So there you go, Weatherman Michael coming live for you there. The venue is Virgin Media Park in County Cork, and the referee there is Siobhán Daly. Siobhán Daly is an IRFU referee, and she is actually from Connacht Rugby, so she started officiating there in 2020. Actually, a concussion ended her playing career, so she used to play, but she's now turned to being the referees, and hopefully she doesn't get into any more collisions. Represented the IRFU at the 2025 Six Nations Women's Summer Series in Wales as well, and also ref the Energia AIL Women's semi-final. So, fantastic lineup there. Where you can watch it, well, it's good to know that all games across this entire championship, all 8 of them, including the runners-up match and then the final, will be aired on Spórt TG4 YouTube channel. Now, I will say, I do not understand why these have not been given live coverage on the telly. What else is literally on the telly right now that you couldn't have RT shown this? It drives me crazy. I don't understand. There's such an imbalance there. Obviously, this season we didn't get any of the Leinster men's one, or last season. None of them really at all. So, yeah, strange times. I think RT need to get the finger out and start booking up, because it's not good enough. Definitely not good enough. But look, anyway, silver lining and all that, we will get a chance to watch them all. And on YouTube, I guess you can have the two. You can have the two of them open at the same time if they collide a little bit. But alas, without me going a bit crazy in that, let's get into the lineups. Alright folks, straight into it, the Leinster lineup. You have number 15, Robin O'Connor, number 14, Maggie Boylan, number 13, Aoife Dalton, number 12, Eve Higgins, number 11, Vicky Elms-Kinlan, number 10, Dan O'Brien, number 9, Jade Caffney. Into the forwards area, number 1, Caoimhe Malloy, 2, Sarah Delaney, number 3, Linda Jugang, number 4, Ruth Campbell, number 5, Kate Jordan, number 6, Rosie Searle, number 7, Roisin Kinch, and number 8, Erin King. Onto the bench there we have number 16, Emma Jane Wilson, number 17, Hannah Wilson, number 18, Shona White, number 19, Alba Atajamin, number 20, Aoife Corcoran, number 21, Alex Connor, number 22, Ellie O'Sullivan Sexton, and number 23, Emma Tilley. Over to the Munster lineup there, you have number 15, Aoife Corey, number 14, Katie Corrigan, number 13, Alana McInerney, number 12, Lucia Lynn, number 11, Chibsam Uguero, number 10, Enya Breen, number 9, Emily Lane, and onto the forwards area, number 1, Siobhan McCarthy, number 2, Beth Buttimer, number 3, Ailish Cahill, number 4, Clodagh O'Halloran, number 5, Jane Clohessy, number 6, Sally Kelly, number 7, Grace Moore, and number 8, Maeve Og O'Leary. Into the bench area, number 16, Emma Dunnican, 17, Tula Ryan, number 18, Alicia Flynn, number 19, Ava O'Flynn, number 20, Anna Kate Cornan, number 21, Abby Salter Townshend, 22, Katrina Finn, and last but not least, 23, Ellen Boylan. Bench splits there, and it's one you will not be used to. You will normally see the five the 5-3 splits, maybe even a 6-2 split, maybe even a 7-1 split. But no, this time on both benches, you're going to see a perfect 4-4 split. Something you never really see anymore, but it's great that we get a chance to talk with those situations. And look, I think it's probably been the same for most of women's rugby. It makes sense. I think it's actually a lovely split. I think it should probably be mandatory to have 4-4 splits. You can't just bring an entire new team onto either your forward pack. Well, mostly it's the forward pack or your back pack, which you never really see. So maybe if they brought this in across the board as like mandatory, that would be very interesting. But let's go into who to watch. And in Leinster, I'm going to start off with Aoife Dalton there. Aoife Dalton starts in centre at 13, and she was obviously named in a Women's Six Nations team of the championship for the second year running, mind you, and is one of the returning internationals that Govender is counting on, as I said, to flip the script. I say flip the script because if you were watching last year, you would have known that the final ended up a absolute trashing. Munster beat us 50-15. Now, I'll get into that a little bit more into the discussion point, but let's go on with who else to watch there. Well, Dan O'Brien has, after having a fantastic Celtic Championship series, fantastic player there, an old Belvo out half, she partners there with Jade Gaffney at half back as well. So, look, absolute the main threat there if Munster don't lock her down immediately. She's a fantastic kick on her. So Dan O'Brien, 100% one to watch. And then last but not least for Leinster, Erin King, came back from a huge injury setback. I think she was out for about a year and a half. Obviously, we've seen her in the Wolfhounds, played an absolute blinder as well. Six Nations too. And look, she's also featuring there right beside Linda Dugang, who is just about outside that notable mentions for that game, because I'm telling you, the two of them are absolutely fantastic players. Moving over there to Munster, well, Maeve O'Leary, look, reigning champions captain there, the face of last year's clean sweep against us, unfortunately bet us twice in that same series. Again, I'll go into that in the discussion point, but there's always a silver lining, There's always, I try to just bring it back into a bit of positivity here. But look, back-to-back title winners, obviously, for the first time since January 2023, so it's huge for her there, and she's one to watch. Next up, you have Jane Clohessy, returns for 4 months after a rebroken arm that absolutely ruined her Six Nations, which, very unfortunate of her. But she also, interesting enough, switches from flanker to second row, so you're going to have to make sure that, all of our ladies know exactly what's going on there. Govender, I'm sure, is after looking into what exactly that change is coming into, but definitely Jane Clohessy is going to be an absolute physical battle warrior there, so definitely want to watch her on that pitch. And then last but not least, Katie Corrigan, always, maybe you'll say I'm a little bit biased here, but former Leinster player and Ireland Sevens winger, making her senior Munster debut on the right wing. So fantastic player, fantastic for Leinster at the time, and she's going to take on her fellow Wicklow native and Ireland Sevens teammate Vicky Elms-Kinlan on that wing. So it's going to be electric, lads. There's a lot of rivalry there, especially with players coming over from Leinster over to Munster. And realistically here, let's say Munster are our biggest threat, and they're also our biggest rivals. So it's going to be an absolute cracker of a starting game. Hopefully we get a chance to go back and beat them in a final if we meet them there again. But interesting enough, the final this time is going to be in the Dexcom Stadium, and naturally enough, because the new stand there is fantastic. I know the last time they played, it was in Donnybrook Stadium. Unfortunately, we lost there, so it was a bit of a lull around the pitch at that time because it was packed out with Leinster supporters. But I suppose going into the previous games, and I've kind of given a hint of that, the 2025 league winners obviously was Munster, beat us 50-15. And then before that, obviously, beat us in the league there as well. 22-33, I was at that game myself. Very good game, mind you, and just Munster really just got ahead near the last 10 minutes. Obviously, in 2024, the final there was Munster 7, Leinster 27. That was in the Kingspan Stadium, and that's probably our most recent win in this fixture, unfortunately. So we're looking back 2 years before we've actually seen that against them. But look, going into my prediction there, well, yeah, look, the form coming in just really says Leinster above all things. Munster obviously entering as defending champions, sweeping Leinster twice in late August there last year, but realistically, we are talking about an absolute different pack coming up against them. Leinster have 11 changes from the side that lost last year's final. We have 6 debutants there as well, which is funny enough. A debutant is actually Erin King, riddle me that. Riddle me that. She must have at least 40 odd caps for Ireland, never mind Leinster. So, huge there as well for Erin King, and obviously Eve Higgins as well. So, I think, Govender obviously is the coach after coming in this season. I'm a former Munster Pathways coach, mind you, which is very interesting to have there. So she'll have a lot of context coming from that the Munster pathway, the Munster game, how to play it, and takes charge for the first competitive Leinster women's game. So it's going to be a very interesting one. Now, I would normally go with the odds here in the bookies. There is no mainstream bookmaker giving odds for this. The imbalance here is just crazy. So I normally base my prediction off this. So maybe it's actually been the bookies, and I'm not a betting man, but maybe it has been the bookies that have been swaying me too much. Maybe now I'll actually get this correct. And if I don't, and I get it really bad, then it's just me. But I'm going to call it here, right? I'm going to say it's going to be a very close game. I think Munster are going to come out of the traps. Obviously, they're at home. It's in Cork, the real capital of Ireland. They want to come out there and smash us. But I don't think they are. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think we're going to just get ahead there. So I'm going to say Leinster 27, Munster 24. Right? Hands up there. There is no odds to let me game the system here. So if I get this right, I swear to God, maybe I will become a betting man. No, I won't. I don't endorse gambling. Okay? Not at all. Player of the match here, I do think it's going to be Aoife Dalton. Aoife Dalton is an electric player. I'm obviously a little bit biased. She comes from Midlands. That's probably enough to say there. Pure bias coming from that. But she's a fantastic player. You've seen her in the Six Nations. Obviously being that, player of the championship as well. Fantastic. So I think Aoife Dalton's going to go out there, absolutely smash it. And we're going to win by 3 points. Leinster 27, Munster 24. All right, folks, the discussion point here. Yeah, so can we flip it? Can we absolutely change the script completely? Can we flip that script? Well, let's dive into exactly why we lost last year's. And look, excuses is one thing, but I think this is a fairly decent one. Last time we played, and which was in the final, we had absolutely decimated our team hugely, right? They beat a side that was missing all of their Ireland stars. That is huge, right? That is ridiculous. They obviously had to go and get trained up for all the matches that were coming up. The World Cup, I think it was at the time. So yeah, fair enough. We were missing loads, right? But in saying that, we had them all back now. So you're talking about an absolute onslaught of a team coming on there. They are ready. They're just coming off one of the most successful Six Nations that they've ever done. And funny enough, Beeman's Six Nations team, just to say how many are on the pitch this time, there's actually 10. So 10 players from Beeman's May Six Nations matchday squad feature in this Munster versus Leinster opener. 8 of them are for Leinster, right? So I'm just gonna say 8 of them for Leinster. That's massive. You're talking about the likes of King, Dalton, Dugang, O'Brien, O'Connor, all of them back in the starting 15. Come on, let's be real here. That's why I said I think it'll be close, because obviously there's still fantastic players on the Munster side, but we have to come out of the traps here saying this is our year. We need to get that title back. I suppose notable absentees there on both sides is actually Aoife Wafer, who's actually in the Harlequins now, and Brittany Hogan. So it is an interesting one. I do think we're going to flip the script here. Finals day is actually on Saturday, 29th of August in the Dexcom Stadium, as I said. I think it's going to be us. I think we're going to flip the script here, mainly because our dynamic difference from last year is huge, right? The people are coming back, the players are coming back here, are going to look at this game as the revenge game against that absolutely decimation that we had last August. Really was like losing 50-15 in a final is borderline on embarrassment. It's kind of like Leinster versus Bordeaux in the final against in the European Championship. So they're not going to want to have that again. They're not going to have an opportunity for Munster to shove it in our face that they already have the cup. So I think the fact that we can get to that point, Sana Govender's first game in charge, we're going to want to make sure we have an absolute stellar year. Why not start that off with a win? All those players come back. It has to be the indication of us getting that win in the bag. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't actually give us an excuse for what happened last time. Before the final, we obviously lost by 6 points, but it was a very, very, very close game. Munster are not a side to take lightly. They're a side to be reckoned with. They're a fantastic team. But I'm telling you now, this is a revenge mission number 1. We are coming into this with a face on us like a slapped arse. That's what's going to happen. So we have to come in here. We have to get the voodoo magic on. All those players, especially the ones I've named, like Linda Jugang, is going to be like a hot knife through butter in that defensive line. You just know it. She gets the ball and she starts sprinting. I don't know how a prop can do it. I said it in the Emerald Warriors episode. I don't know how a prop. She makes those props look really bad, because when I get the ball, I go at about a 5 kilometer pace, and there's absolutely no way that I could match the speed that she does. Fantastic, so fast, so clinical, and so strong. Like, she'll just burst through that defense. So, look, we have an undertaking here. We have to make sure we come out and show force, and I think this is the year to do it. We've all watched the Celtic Championship. We've all seen these players in action. We've seen the Wolfhounds. They absolutely annihilated nearly every team they went out and played on that pitch. They know how to play rugby. We are in for a treat for this first game. It's going to be brilliant, and it's going to be even better when they come out from Cork, back on that bus on the way back to Dublin and into Leinster with an absolute perfect win under their belt immediately. So I'm not quietly confident. I'm literally shouting into the mic, but I am very confident that this is going to be a very good game, but B, a great day for Leinster. So consider this script completely flipped, folks. I am banking on it. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. It's going to be great. I'm so happy it's background. The only thing I'm not happy about is that a lot of the games aren't in Donnybrook Stadium, so I can't just tip down the road down to them. And unfortunately, with the little lad, I won't be able to travel halfway across the country. But you can be sure I'll be watching all 8 games on YouTube. And thank God TG4 decided to show coverage for them. So yeah, here we are, folks. Season 2. And we're back with a bang, hopefully, with this first game. That's her, folks. Look, just want to note there, I actually just created a website for the podcast. I'll send it in. I'll actually put it in the description of this, and also send it around on my socials as well. Just a quick thing. It actually does a little bit about me. So if you want to read, for some reason, want to read up about me, there is a section there. But there's also just a breakdown. You can actually listen to all the episodes on the website if you want to. The RSS link is embedded there. And also, I have a new campaign going, as you might have noticed, with the Emerald Warriors being the first of it. I'm trying to do an interview with every single club in the Leinster province. So I've only done one so far. I have a couple lined up. It's going to be great. The people there, obviously grassroots rugby is everything to rugby. So hopefully I get them done. They'll be kind of trickling in every now and again at an irregular cadence, I suppose, just as I get them done, processed, and then published out. So they're great fun. The folks I've talked to are fantastic already. Emerald Warriors, obviously, an absolute delight to chat to. Great crack there as well. But yeah, look, hope to see you all at the game. If you're making your way down there, we'll see you on YouTube, and we'll see you at Donnybrook Stadium for the next match, because that is going to be coming up next week, I think. So yeah, not too bad. But anyway, folks, as always, thanks for listening.